I mean, it's definitely been different from where I'm used to training. So coming to Des Moines was like, I don't know, it was an experience. It's fun. It's a cool city. There's a lot going on. I didn't realize how big this event is. There's just like a lot of community involved in it, which is really, really cool. It was my first road mile, which was fun. I wasn't sure what to expect, but yeah, I mean, it went well. And I'm excited for the track events. I'm a lot more comfortable on the track. So um, based on how it's gone so far, just meeting so many people and being so involved with everything, I'm really looking forward to continuing that.
This is my third time running the road mile, but it'll be my first time staying for the track meet. So I'm excited to get the full experience, doubling back for the relays. I was excited coming back for the road mile. Like it's the good model is having those community events beforehand and then having everyone sort of congregate at the finish line to watch the elite races. Um, Having that crowd, especially with how windy it was yesterday, that really helped distract from things. And yeah, it was exciting season opener. Great way to start the season in a big upcoming summer. And yeah, I'm excited to see how the track race goes on Saturday.
This is my second time that I can remember. I was here in 2018, and it was great. I love the energy. I love the crowd. That's one thing that they always do here is give us a great crowd and cheer us on. Being here is just different, especially being able to have a male teammate when we did throw. So that's always a joy. So I'm happy that when we come here, they do throw that for us. Just to make it more fun because the spotlight is on us, but it's not on us as much. And so I think with having the joint shot put competition kind of helps us out a little bit. My teammate here helped me out on my last throw, so definitely got to give him the props with that. I don't like throwing indoors that much, but I popped out a good one just because the different surfaces. So for Saturday, I'm hoping for something very, very big, being as though practices have been going great. Being a new mom, so just relearning my move over and just coming out and having a great time. That's one thing that I know to do now, and that it helps being here is to have a great time, no matter do good, bad, or not. Just always have a great time.
This was my ninth consecutive Drake relays, so I'm somewhat of a veteran here. I kind of consider this to be like a home meet because I grew up and I'm from Minnesota. All of my family's back there. So this is the closest that they get, the easiest it is for them to come watch me compete. So it's kind of like a family reunion. I have a lot of family coming down for it this weekend. Looking forward to that. But having that indoor shot put competition was always awesome. I think this is the second year that they've done it and my first year doing it. It just adds a fun team aspect of it because, this is such an individualistic sport that, when we're adding our distances, it gives you someone, really cheer for. A lot of us, we haven't been on a team like that since, in college. Yes, we still make world and Olympic teams, but it's kind of not the same. Like, we're obviously cheering for our Team USA, but this is in the competition. We're cheering for each other. So it's just a really fun aspect of it. I'm glad that they put it on. Just adds a little bit of flair to a sport that's been around for so long.
So I've got questions, but we'll open it to questions from the media.
I have a question for Rachel. Ramsey mentioned that you have not run Louisville, correct?
Not at Drake relays, no.
But you have before.
Yeah, USA's,
Rachel,
yeah.
No. I watched USA's when it was last year, but I've never run on it.
So maybe Vince, if you could just maybe quickly run through what it's like to run on such a kind of hallowed ground, I guess.
Sure, yeah. I actually ran, I think my first USA outdoor final was, our outdoor championship was here. I can't say final because I missed it by 0.02 of a second. So, not necessarily great memories from the race itself, but I will say it was certainly an experience that'll stick with me. Like, it's a very like cool stadium, and like it felt like a pro experience. You know, it felt like a level up from the college meets to come to USA's and have it here. So yeah, in terms of the performance itself, would like to maybe rectify some wrongs from that, but it's only 6 years later, so yeah, but no, I'm looking forward to being back out on the track and in that stadium again for sure.
And then Rachel, when you hear that praise about kind of the environment, how excited does that make you to run on it the first time?
I mean, I'm excited. Like I said, the last time I was here was USA's, and I was just watching, and it was just such a cool environment then, just seeing the track then versus seeing it now. I mean, like you said, 6 years ago, I was 18 just watching. So yeah, I'm really excited. I just love racing, and being back and being healthy and being able to race at all is always really, really fun. So yeah, hearing all the good things that everyone has to say just adds to that.
I have a question for Jessica. You mentioned that you were a new mom.
Yes.
How new of a mom are you? And tell us about your new baby.
Well, Miss Seven, she just turned 10 months, so fairly new. My experiences as a mother have been quite the journey. I would say the first 5 months were the most challenging. Just learning her, relearning my body, knowing how to, you know, manage time, work, being a mother. So I know the first thing, I'm going to be a mother first, make sure she's okay, and then work and training comes with it. So she makes training so much funner, like to bring the joy back into it. So she does go to most of my practices with me. She kind of travels sometimes, just depending on where I go. But it's been a joy. It has its challenges, but it's been a joy. And right now I'm just relearning my body because everything's a little out of whack. But but it's good. It's definitely getting there. Just to have the opportunity to be able to come back out and do the sport that I love, I'm very blessed to be able to do that. So.
Did she come to Des Moines too?
No, she didn't have the chance to come here this time, but hopefully she'll be, I think my next track meet is Tucson, so I'm hoping she'll be able to come there, but she will be at the Olympic trials in Eugene.
Wow. And
Yes.
what's it look like when you're training and she's there? You just set her off to the side so
Yeah,
it's
she-
not dangerous hitting her in the shop, right?
Yes. She sits in the back of me in her little walker. She's trying to walk a little bit, but she has their little walker that she sits in, and you have to make sure she has something to eat because that's what keeps her occupied, or she'll kind of ease her way to the shot put ring. But when she gets a little agitated, I'll take my throw, pick her up, and then she'll come out with me to get the ball. And so she's my little helper, my coach in the weight room when she goes to the weight room.
And one last thing about her, why the name 7?
So her father chose 7. That's when he played football. His favorite number is always wanted to be protected by the grace of God. And then his best friend who passed away had 2 daughters. When you combine their name, it's 7, or it says heaven. So to add his football number 7 plus theirs, it's 7. Yes.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Any other
You're
questions?
next.
I've got one for Rachel. Rachel, you recently had a big breakthrough on the track.
Yes.
As recently as 10 days ago.
Like 7,
Friday.
6, Friday, whatever
Friday,
day
6
that
days
was.
ago.
Yes.
Yeah, lost track of the
Yeah,
day.
it's a lot in this week.
So from that breakthrough to lining up at a U.S. Championship and then crossing the finish line as a national champion for the first time, when did you know you were going to win the race?
There's a lot to unpack in that question. To be honest, I forgot that the road race was a national race until they handed me a flag, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But I don't know. I honestly, coming down the last straight of the road mile, it's about 600 meters. And so I had in my head, like, don't go too early because everyone gets excited when they see the finish line. And I was looking for the big flag that said, like, 400 to go, 3/4 of a mile in. And I never saw it, so they must have not put it there. And I meant to go then. And by the time it registered, I saw the clock on the back of the lead vehicle at like 350 something and did the math. And I was like, oh, there's definitely less than 400 meters to go. So that's kind of when I went. And as soon as I did, I knew I was going to win that because I think I made a move at the right time on accident, but at the right time. And yeah, it just felt easy. It felt natural. And yeah, it was a really good feeling. Like, coming down the last 200 meters at least. So. Yeah, so my PR prior to that race this last Friday was like a 4:14. So I ran a 4:07, and that was my first race since, gosh, over a year. I had surgery a few months ago, so it was really exciting on a lot of different levels. I mean, that's a huge PR as it is, and just to be healthy and not only that, feel really good, like I just felt very natural, was really encouraging. I was excited to leave that meet and come to this meet knowing I wasn't going to be here and feel like out of place at all. So it was fun. It's fun to get back to racing, and it's fun to feel really good doing it. So yeah, it just was really encouraging for me to run that.
And then not only with all the amazing women that'll be doubling back like you will, but obviously going to bring in some more of an international presence on Saturday, just to be able to have 3 times in a span of what'll be less than 10 days. This early to have that level of competition. How important is that repetition for you at this point?
I think it's good practice always for rounds, but to be honest, I initially wanted to do so many races because I've been out of racing for so long. I need qualifying marks for things, so it's, again, good practice for rounds, but it was not at the top of my list to just like get a bunch of races in. It was just like I need to run a fast 15, and then I did in the first one. So it's just important that I carry the momentum and I carry my training consistency throughout the whole season and not just focus on racing for right now, if that makes sense.
Got a question from Vince.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really like talk about it beforehand, but then I think I like made it pretty clear with the way I ran that I wanted the time. I just knew how well training was going, and especially for a season opener, we haven't really done a bunch of sharpening stuff yet, and it almost made sense in a way to just make it a harder effort, like from the gun, and feel like, okay, I know how strong I am. I think I can sustain this, and it's. I can't say it's an attainable time because I didn't attain it, but it felt like something that on the right day I could have achieved. And, it's a little bit tough to look back and think, surely I could have found, 0.8 seconds or whatever I needed out there on the course. Like it's a little hard to judge from the front like that. But I'm proud of the way I went for it. I've never really done that before. And that's the beauty of having the track meet a few days later is, I can channel that energy right away into racing again, which I'm excited about. And I think it's easier to not dwell too much on that close miss of the time when I have another race to focus on in 2 days. So, yeah.
Vince, if I could follow up on that, there will be another record opportunity for you on Saturday, if you're aware of it or not. It's been 40 years since Steve Scott set the meet and stadium record here, 3:38:27. Obviously, you're a gentleman that's run well below that in 1500. A lot of it is depending on pacing, a lot of it's depending on weather, but
sure.
Hopefully I can provide a little extra motivation and inspiration for you for Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I was not aware of that, and I did have to go back and change my Instagram caption when I remembered that I did run the course record out here, like, because there's been a lot of good athletes out here to run on the road. So even if it wasn't a world record, I can still, be proud of that achievement with the level of competition that it's a U.S. championship. They, there's good guys here every year, good women here every year. So yeah, I was not aware of that. And I think, it at least looks like it won't be 40 degrees or whatever it was here last year. So yeah, I think that's certainly a time within reach, and Steve Scott is obviously a legend of American miling. So yeah, good to have in the mind going into that for sure.
Got a question for Jessica. A lot's changed for you in the last 10 months, you said, in the last year.
Yes.
What are realistic expectations for you in 2024? What do you have your sights set on?
I have my sights set on, if I do the technique, I'll have it. So that's my biggest thing. I don't really try to give myself a number. I know, do the technique, you'll have it. So I've learned not to do that, because if I set the expectation, oh, I want to throw 20 meters and I don't do it, then I kind of get down on myself. So that's one thing as an athlete I know not to really do is, I set expectations for myself, but I want to know if you do this, you'll get there. So just enjoy the journey and do the technique. You got it. So, yes.
Jessica, along with that, we've seen in recent years so many incredible, American women. Obviously, Allison, Quinera, Alicia. How I mean, your journey is your own.
Yes.
But I mean, just to be able to have opportunities, this year Paris, next year potentially Tokyo, to continue to make teams, the Ali, as well. I mean, I could just go on and on. How much does that aspect of your career mean to you that you could continue to be such an international presence now as a mother?
It means a lot. It means a hell of a lot just to be able to, not every woman gets the opportunity to give birth. So to be able to give birth and then still come and do my sport and then be an advocate or a voice for the women that may be, nervous to say, I'm pregnant, I have a baby, or have the thought like, dang, can I still do this? It's like, yeah, you can still do it. It's gonna have its challenges, but go out and give it your all. You're not gonna be the same person that you were before you had the baby. You're gonna be better because you just experienced something that only you can express. So it's just like, and then to have the opportunity to continue to go, you just gotta enjoy it. So I feel like it makes you a better person. Everybody has their experiences with giving birth, but for me, I feel like it kind of made me a little soft. So I just got to bring that dog back out. So I see myself more joyful. I smile more. I enjoy life more, and it gives you a more of a purpose in life. Although you already have a purpose, it's just you have more of a purpose. So
now you have a purpose times two.
Yes, definitely.
My last question is for Mr. Otterdahl. You opened up in an extraordinary way to start your 2024 season. Was that expected? And yes, either way, does it shape your ideas for what's possible in 2024?
I would say that it wasn't necessarily expected. The training's been going better than it has. It's probably my strongest off season, but lately still battling a couple injuries just from the training, and I wouldn't say that, it definitely wasn't expected to pop off a throw like that this early on, hoping that would come a little bit later on in the season because the training has still been hard. There hasn't been any peaking yet, so hopefully that means that there's more to come. But yes, a pleasant surprise. I was hoping just to open up, better than I ever had in the past, which was 21:32. So anything over that I was going to be happy with, but exceeded that a little bit.